everyone, I'm so excited to be here. I love the Quesa Farmers Market, and it's a perfect representation of the knowledge that's gone into this book, Food Great Business.
Well, we're a farm, and we were a farm for about 8 years, and then I thought I wanted a rose garden. So I went out one day and I bought 150 roses and I put in a block. So it seemed so technical to make a bouquet that I just like threw in the towel immediately. Okay, I'm not cut out for this. And I just donated the roses to this meditation group that took prayer in the hospital. And then a friend said to me, how about you try to make rose water, distilled rose water? You could cook those roses. Nobody's doing that around here. Why don't you try that? And that just seemed so off the wall and unusual and difficult that I immediately wanted to do it. Because nobody's doing it, it's really hard, you only get a little bit. Oh, really? I want to try that.
So let's segue to tofu. So far it sounds like you got started organically. Now it sounds like the process of making rose water might be like making soy milk. Let's hear how you got started.
Janet, I love that story because I was already thinking of way to seg into that. I started as sort of like a weekend warrior hobby for me. While I figure out what I wanted to do at my first midlife. I'm going through my second now. But essentially that's what happened. I wanted to prove to folks that tofu can be delicious as the tofu that I grew up eating in Vietnam and the tofu that I grew up eating when I traveled throughout Asia. And fortunately for me, I think being in the Bay Area, having ridden the trend of really food and people caring about food, we're able to be successful from that standpoint. And a lot of our success is really dependent on timing, hard work, some luck, which I'm sure you'll see in the book, but also the support of chefs and people who care about food and sustainable food. Some of the role models that I have here, June Taylor, Steve Sullivan of Acme Bread, Sue Connolly of Cowgirl. These are people who've gone ahead. They were out there 20, 25, 30 years ago, and if you talk to them, their companies very much are remaining in that sustainable mode. They still are the majority shareholder, owner. They make great products despite the growth, and that's what we strive to do as well.
Nana Toast Granola was started with a need for a breakfast that would sustain me through long surf sessions. So I started doing a little bit of research online and looking at what exactly would help with that. And I came up with fat, fiber, and protein. Threw myself directly into Nana Joe's and figuring out packaging, and figuring out all the permits and all the fun stuff that you need to actually start a business. And with that, started doing farmers markets right away. So it was direct sale, so I could get all of the feedback. Like, I had compostable, biodegradable packaging at the beginning, and the granola just didn't do well in it because it's all permeable. Right now on the market, there's nobody out there that's got really great biodegradable, compostable packaging. Started getting more stores, started getting braver, started walking into stores. I've never made an appointment with a buyer. I just start talking, and I don't stop talking until they say, okay, I'm going to try it.
Well, once I started making rose water, I had to commission someone to make a still, I had to learn how to use it, and I had to make a lot of mistakes. I mean, I've heard people say, I want to, but I don't know, and I'm afraid it's going to go wrong. It's going to go wrong, okay? All the time. A whole bunch of things are going to go wrong. That's the process. That's not a mistake. That's how it works. I mean, all I know is the human process seems to be that we learn by making mistakes. But when we want to do a business, then we don't want to make any mistakes, right? I like to do a little bit of retail with people who really curate what they do. We're in Cowgirl Creamery. That's a good reflection on me. If they pick me, then people who know what they do will probably take a chance on me. If you think you have an idea about something you want to make, you should do it immediately. You should go home and you should try and make something today. Like after we talk, if you have a Cuisinart and it's that kind of a thing. Use your kitchen tools and figure out what you're doing and give it to your friends.
So Minh, I'd love to hear about your growth since I live in Oakland. I imagine Hodo soy is being everywhere, but I saw you're really still on the West Coast and in some Costco and obviously Chipotle.
Well, we have a $3 million square foot plant in Oakland. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I was like, wow, it seems so small. I guess
Once you open the door and go inside, it's infinite.
I know. It's like Willy Wonka.
Right. We are still at the same place where we started 8 years ago. One location. Somehow, through technology, we've managed to produce more tofu out of the same location. How can you be more simple in your ingredient, yet make the products better? So starting first quarter of next year, instead of getting tofu that just, a week or two, you're going to be able to buy our tofu. It's going to last about 45 days. And the texture is even better than what you taste now, and the flavor is even more enhanced. And it's through this technique that I've learned to do in the last couple of years. So that will allow us to actually sell beyond California.
It's got kale, basil, hazelnuts, and gooseberries. And the kale and the gooseberries are grown at Little City Gardens, which is an urban garden in the Mission. And she approached me saying that she wanted to do it. She said, I've got these gooseberries. I love your Chef Blend series. Can I do a blend? And I said, absolutely. I built out a kitchen 2 years ago, crossing my fingers, so I knew that if I was going to spend the money to build it out, that I had to actually project 5 years down the line and see where I would be, and is that $150,000 investment of building out a kitchen out of my pocket going to be enough for me to be able to pay back in a certain amount of time. And we started doing cookies, which are vegan gluten-free cookies.
So this is a 5-spice tofu nuggets. It's one of our very original nuggets. It's a play on texture of tofu.
I thought that was your gluten-free cookie. I'm like, I guess it's sort of organic looking and almond butter.
We have another name for it now. We can repackage that.
Tofu cookies!
So I had these 2 products and almost the third one, almost garlic salt. And out of nowhere, we got a call and the person says, hi, I'm from NBC Today show, and we'd like to feature your products on our Christmas thing. And I thought, I was going, I can't say no, but I can't say yes. So I went, okay, and she says, and I need your website. And I said, we don't have a website. She said, what? Well, if you want to be on the Today Show, better get yourself a website. You have 2 weeks. So, okay, I have 2 weeks to do that and figure out how I really want to make garlic salt, because I haven't got that figured out either. But I said yes. I got like 500 orders in 24 hours, which before that, previously in 24 hours, 1 would have been our record. 1 order. So then it was like all the neighbors and all their kids, and let's have a wrapping party. But say yes, and then stretch. You know what I'm saying? Rise to meet the opportunity. Don't say I'm not ready. Just figure it out.
I'm developing a companion e-course to go with the book that's like going to be like a chapter by chapter where there will be a community of people and you can plan along with the book and go out and do assignments and research and try things and come back.